Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's learning objective is in red and we are learning to draw the nets of 3D shapes. So we've moved away from area, but we're still in the area stuff. So the first thing to note is 3D shapes. I'm sure we've all got a familiar understanding of all of these, but we've got some examples and they are shapes that go beyond 2D. They've got that third dimension based width and the kind of a length type deal. And the nets of these, this is what we're trying to draw here. And if you think of like a bit of a cardboard box and how you can collapse the cardboard box into its various sides, that's what we're trying to draw here. So a net, the way I think about it, is a collapsed version of the 3D shape. And the best way to get into these is some examples. So I'm going to change pen color. We'll get into blue. And we're starting off up the top here. We've got a square-based pyramid. So square-based pyramid. I'll just jot that down up there. And the way I always start these questions is I'm going to focus on the base of our shape, that blue square here. And I'm going to draw that down here. So there's our blue square. And they were all the same length or lengths. And now I'm thinking, well, if I'm breaking down my shape, what would it look like? So if you think of the face of the shape here, that face would kind of flop down or fold downwards. So maybe that is going to be this part. The side over here, that's going to flop down as well. So that there would look like this. Oh gosh. Forgive the drawing, not particularly good. We're going to have the back of our pyramid. Again, we're going to push that downwards. And finally, we got the back side there that we can't find out either. And we're going to draw that. So it's not the best drawing in the words of detail. And I'm just going to note all of these are the same lengths. So that little star type shape is the 3D net of our square-based pyramid. And if you pull all of these sides together, maybe you draw them up, that will form our 3D shape as well. So that's the square-based pyramid. Let's have a look at this one. So we've got a cylinder now. So a cylinder. And this one's a bit unique because for the square-based pyramid, there's only going to be one answer. But there are, or some shapes can have multiple different versions of their nets. So if you think of a cylinder, if you think of the rounded edge, that's just a bit of paper that's been curved together. So if I kind of cut that, this side would drop down here, that side would drop down there. That would just look like a big rectangle. So that there would be my starting point for the cylinder, big rectangle. And, you know, if you curve the sides together, they would eventually meet to make that circle part of the cylinder. And then you've got to worry about the top and bottom of the cylinder, and they're just circles. So what you could do is one could drop this side, one could drop this side. So that there would be a net of our cylinder. And I'll just draw some other scenarios. They could actually drop the same side. So that there would also be a net. They can be opposites. You could have one here and one there. And they could both be on the bottom as well. So this cylinder actually has multiple different answers in terms of its net. So that's got 4 answers to be exact. And the last one we're going to look at is the cuboid, or kind of like a more standard box. So we've got into the yellow pen now. I'm going to start off with the base of my cuboid. So that's that long base there. And then I'm going to move maybe that side over here. That kind of flops backwards. That would be there. This side up here is going to go downwards. So that's there. The back end of the shape would be there, and the front of the shape would be there. And the only thing to note is we haven't actually done the top of the shape. So the top of the shape, it could have gone backwards in this direction as we took over that other side. It also could have gone forwards as well. So we just need to make sure we add that in there. And you're going to see there. So that there would be the base. That there would be the top. These are the 2 sides. And those are also sides here. But this shape here has actually got way more options than the cylinder. So this top part that could have been taken over to the other side. You actually could have taken the top. So as this side here flipped, you could have dragged the top with it. And it also could have been on the other side here. There's actually so many different combinations of this, and that's actually going to be one of the tasks we have in our particular learning objectives and their questions. So guys, hopefully that gave you a good understanding of what nets are. They are collapsed versions of 3D shapes. And the big why do you need to know this? Our next learning objective is all about surface area. And being able to draw a net from a 3D shape is going to be the most efficient ways to approach those surface area type questions. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's make sure our notes are really, really good. Make sure we've got some good diagrams of nets. Now let's get into heaps and heaps of practice.